Welcome back to another episode of Black Facts. Today we are going to do a recap. We are going to revisit some of the wonderful tips that our experts, our health experts, have shared with us throughout the year. They have shared some wonderful tips as to how we can be healthy overall, but specifically how we can live lives that, or maintain, I should say, how we can maintain our emotional well being. So I want to revisit some of those tips and let's get into it. So we're going to start out with M. The one tip that I really appreciate hearing was maintaining healthy relationships. In order to be emotionally well, we need to maintain healthy relationships. You may ask, what is that? That simply means just being around people that you love and that love you, support you, are there for you, to lift you up, to affirm you. You have to be around people that, appreciate you and love you for who you are, flaws and all. Our next one is E, and that's eating real food made by plants. We eat a lot of processed food. We are such a high, fast paced society nowadays where it's just like, let's run through the drive through, let's grab something real quick, whether it's nutritious or not, let's devour it. And what we don't realize is we're not nourishing our bodies. We really are not nourishing our bodies. So we need to minimalize the processed foods. If we can eliminate them altogether, that would be wonderful. But I would say everything's in moderation, minimalize the processed foods, and really focus on eating real foods that are made by plants. You can't go wrong if you eat things that are plant based. You know that's going to be real food, a real food that's going to nourish you. So eat real food made out of plants. N. N stands for namaste. So if you remember one of the episodes I did on yoga, I was able to learn about yoga practices and tips. And one of the things that they say in yoga practices is namaste. And I wondered, what did namaste stand for? Well, it really is a greeting. It's a greeting. So I want us all to greet the awakening of every day with gratitude. We need to live in a state of gratitude. Again, there's so many things going on in our society today, and it's so easy to feel down, be depressed, be discouraged by the things that we see on the news or even on social media. So if we start each day, we greet each new day with a sense of gratitude, I promise you that will help you set your intentions and the rest of your day. It may not go perfectly well, but if you start off with your day with gratitude, I promise you, and in your day with gratitude, I promise you that it will be better than any other day that you could have imagined if you started off with gratitude, thinking positive, affirming thoughts. Next one is T. What does T stand for? T stands for therapy. So we had our therapist on, Dr. Ricardo White, and he said this quote that really stuck with me. And actually, I had a couple of you viewers mention that it stuck with you as well. He said, therapy, understand that the whole point of therapy is connection and growth. Ask yourself, am I growing? If not, do not be afraid to seek another therapist or other therapy options. So make sure that if you're in therapy, that you're asking yourself those questions, and don't be afraid of therapy. Therapy is really an opportunity to grow yourself and be the best version of yourself. A, this one I love, is ask for help. Again, all of us, we're trying to do this thing called life. We're trying to do the best we possibly can. And sometimes we get overwhelmed and we don't realize that there are people that are out there that love us and support us, our friends and our family. And when we get stuck in situations, all we have to do is take a moment and ask for help. I promise you, if you do it, I'm guilty of it. I don't like to ask people to help me with anything, but I have learned that it is something that is needed. And when I really feel overwhelmed or I need help with something, I am no longer afraid to ask someone, can you help me? Can you help me do this? Can you just be there for me to listen to me? Don't be afraid to ask for help. L. This was another one that I love from our doctor, Dr. Columbus Baptiste. He said, love yourself and love others. The antidote to stress is love. There is power when we choose to love. That was so powerful to me, especially when he said the antidote to stress is love. And it's so true. It is so true. It's another thing. When you're feeling stressed, if you call up somebody, once again, asking for help, if you call up somebody, one of your loved ones that loves you and just say, can you just tell me something good? Tell me something good. Say something kind. What do you love about me? Or what do you like about me? It brightens up your day. It changes your whole attitude and it relieves stress. Or if you ask for help, it relieves stress. So the antidote for stress is love, and love is powerful. So in all decisions that we make, when we go throughout our days and our life, choose love. Choose love over hate. There's so much going on in this world today. And I just ask that we all take a moment and we choose love. So thank you, Dr. Columbus Baptiste, for sharing that with us, that the antidote to stress is love. H, humor. So I've learned through these tips that these professionals have shared with us that laugh as much as possible and as often as possible. And I've shared, some of the things that, I love to do that bring me joy. I love to dance, oftentimes like nobody's watching, and there usually is somebody watching, my family, but it's okay, and I may not be, the best dancer, but I love to dance. I love to laugh. And I have some favorite comedians that, anytime I'm feeling a little down, I can go on YouTube, check them out, get a good laugh in. Or there's some people that in my life that I can call on, friends that just literally like crack me up, make my stomach hurt. So I would encourage all of you, laugh as much as possible. It really does a body good. E, exercise is medicine. So I know you've heard this before, and we had the privilege of having Dr. Danielle Wortham on. And she said that exercise is a powerful tool that can reduce, exercise is a powerful tool that can reduce and prevent occurrences of diseases. So when you think about that, yes, getting moving, she encouraged us to get moving and just go outside and do something, whether it's walking, a light jog, lifting weights, whatever you like to do that brings you joy. And even Dr. Baptiste mentioned dancing. If you like to dance, just move your body. Whatever exercise looks like to you, really just get moving. So we want to remember that exercise is medicine. We can heal ourselves through movement. So I would encourage you all to exercise, get moving. A, advocate in your personal and professional life for your mental well-being. Only allow good energy into your space. I saw that on a sign entering into a dental office, actually. They said, check your energy at the door. And I thought that was interesting. And I went in and I asked the doctor, I said, why did you put this on here? He said, so many people are afraid to come in and have dental work done. He said, and I want to encourage them because once they're fearful, they come in and they bring that kind of negative energy into this space. And I want this to be a lighthearted, happy space. I've worked really, really hard to ensure that all of our dentists and hygienists are, good people, that they have good energy. They're very talented and skilled. We have created a beautiful environment in here. There's nice music, and we really want to provide a comfortable space so we can provide quality care to people. And so he said, I want others to check their energy when they come in here. So I would say make sure that we have good energy and that we only allow people in our personal and professional spaces. We advocate for that on our behalf, for our own well-being, that we advocate that we only allow people that are bringing in good energy to us in our spaces, whether they be our professional or personal spaces. And I know sometimes that may be hard to do because, you can't tell certain people that you have to work with that, you can't kind of enter into my office or into my space. But make sure that if they're not bringing in good energy, find a positive way to be able to share with them. When you talk to me or when you say certain things, that doesn't allow me to be able to feel good about our correspondence or our interaction. So encourage people, be positive. And maybe you too want to put your own sign up and say, check your energy at the door. L, learn to say no. Whew, this is powerful. This is powerful. And the reason why it's so powerful, because I said to someone, it's hard to say no. And they said, why? Why is it hard to say no? And I was like, because I don't want to disappoint anybody. If somebody asks me to do something, it's just hard for me to say no. And they said, but do you realize it's more expensive and it's more taxing for you to say yes? Because once again, you say yes to something, you are giving your energy to that. You are saying, I'm going to make myself available. I'm going to be present. I'm going to bring my best to whatever it is you're saying yes to. And they said, and if you say yes to everything, right, you can't bring 100% of yourself to that. You can't bring positive energy. You're going to be bringing maybe 50, 25%, depending on how many things you said yes to. And when I thought about it like that, I realized, wow, I'm doing these people a disservice if I'm spreading myself too thin and I'm saying yes to everything. So I am learning to say no. And I would encourage you all too. If you have a problem with saying no, I hope what I've shared with you encourage you to learn to say no. T. Take a few minutes to stop and take deep breaths. So we learned how important it is to take deep breaths, right? In our yoga practices with that yoga dude, he shared with us the importance of taking deep breaths. We've also heard about taking deep breaths when we talked to Dr. Baptiste and other healthcare providers that have been on Black Facts. They've all talked about the importance of breath. And again, we move around. We have such a fast-paced lifestyle that we don't take time to take deep breaths. We're taking these short, shallow breaths, and we realize we're not really giving our bodies, the oxygen that it needs to be able to generate ideas and to be able to think clearly because we're taking these shallow breaths. So let's stop for a couple of seconds right now and let's take a couple of deep breaths together. That was nice, but we have to do that more often. So I would encourage you all to take deep cleansing breaths. H, our last letter, hydrate regularly. We do not hydrate our bodies. Our bodies are like 70 to 80% water. And oftentimes we don't realize it, but we do not hydrate our bodies. We just don't. We don't drink enough water. We drink caffeinated drinks, coffee, sodas, juices, all the things that really are not very nourishing or not nourishing at all to our bodies. But we don't drink the water that will hydrate and nourish our bodies. Again, water is cleansing, it washes out impurities, it helps you to be able to think better and to be able to function better. So we need to make sure that we hydrate regularly. This is not a bottled water, but I have my water right here. Make sure to hydrate. It does a body good. So thank you again for joining me on this episode of Black Facts as we recapped all of the things, all of the tips we've learned on how to maintain our emotional well being. I hope you remember some good things that you can take with you and that you will implement into your lives so that you can live a healthier lifestyle and that you can be emotionally well. I know that I've so appreciated all of my guests that have been on Black Facts and have helped me learn tips and ways that I can continue to work on improving my emotional well being. So I hope you had a great time with me today as we learned and we recapped and relearned some things that we had learned previously, but I hope we start to really apply them and implement them into our daily lives so we can be healthier, happier, well adjusted human beings. So please continue to watch and join me on future episodes of Black Facts. Like, share, and subscribe down below. And I hope to see you on the next episode of Black Facts so we can all know the facts. Take care, everyone.